All right, so you have two story problems at the end of these notes that I want to make sure we talk about. We will talk about story problems together in class and do all the big story problem notes, but that doesn't mean there aren't some on these worksheets I've asked you to try. So let's go ahead and set them up, and then you can try the substitution on your own. The length of the garden is 3 less than twice the width. The perimeter of a rectangular garden is 24 feet. Find the dimensions of the garden. So the first thing you have to remember is that perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths. Let's go ahead and use x as the width of the garden. Now, when I do these problems, I like to have a picture. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is give myself a picture. And I'm going to call one of the sides x. And then I'm going to go back up and I'm going to read about what happens in the other one. It says the length of the garden is 3 less than twice the width. When we say less, does that mean to add or to subtract? Less.
Subtract.
Good. So, twice the width. That means we'd have to have 2 of them, right? Twice. So we have to have 2 widths. That means x's in this problem. And we have to subtract 3 from whatever that is. And that's going to, I know, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? All right, so that's the first thing that we need is that picture. And it says that the perimeter is 24 feet. It is. But we're allowed to use 2 variables, aren't we? All right.
Subtract and value.
Something like that. All right, so we've got a picture, and we've got some words here. And, well, let's see. Elizabeth got me all distracted. If we call x the width of the garden, we could also call y, because we're allowed to use 2 variables, right? Y is going to be the length of the garden. That defines length of garden. So we know that if we do 2 x's, 2 widths, plus 2 lengths, 2 y's, we get the perimeter, which is 24. Now we also know that the length of the garden is 2 times the width minus 3. I would have done this problem without a substitution at all because I never would have had a y. But some of you like them, so here's what you would do with it. Here's your y value. It's equal to this quantity, so we need to make a substitution. And we're going to say 2x plus 2, we're not going to say y, we're going to take the y out and put the quantity in. So that's 2x minus 3. Please don't booby trap my chair, Elizabeth. Is equal to 24. We have a distributive property. We have a combined like terms. And then finish solving. Remember, x equal to 5 isn't enough. It didn't ask me just for 1 measurement. It asked me for 2 measurements. So if x is equal to 5, then, oops, these are my ones that have both x and y in them, right? We always go back into a place where there's x and y. So y is equal to 2 times 5, and then subtract 3.
Hold on.
so that my solution is in fact an ordered pair, where the width of the garden is 5 feet. Oops, I missed my feet. And the length of my garden is 7 feet.
These two are all with 3s and all with Y's.
Yeah, they are. Pretty cool, huh?
6, 3, and then
What is?
Y.
Yep. Oh, yeah, all the way down. Now, can you do 10 minus 3? All right. All right. Number 10 has already kind of gotten started for you. So why don't you pause the video and see if you can write your 2 equations. I already defined your variables. You write your 2 equations, then we'll come back and we'll solve it together.
Happy.
We're back, and we're hoping that you got this down the same way that we did. We have y equals 20 plus 18x for our first situation, and we have y equals 26 plus 15x for the second situation. And I think I'd like to tweak my defined my variable. I think I'd like to change it a little bit. I have x equals number of days, and I think I wanted to say actually x equals number of extra days or past the first day, because that 20 and that 26 takes care of day 1. So how many additional days past the first one is what that x value really represents. Now this substitution is going to look a little bit different because it's one that we use more often in higher mathematics, but we don't see it very often in our class, although we should more often. Wow, that didn't make much sense. But at any rate, if y is equal to this and y is also equal to that, then we can set this and that equal to each other. Yeah, that's a good look, Elizabeth. I agree. I bet they're a little confused listening to that. What I'm saying is that if y can be 20 plus 18x, then 20 plus 18x has to equal 26 plus 15x. We're going to use our balance line so we remember what we have to use opposite for and what we don't. Oh, did I go too fast for you? I'm going to subtract my 15x from both sides. And we're going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to do 2 steps at once to save a little bit of time because Elizabeth would like to play. She's done with me doing homework. So that we end up with 3x is equal to 6. How many 3's fit inside 6?
2.
Good. So we find out that after 2 days, our rental car agencies will have the same price. So really after 3 days, right?
No.
So 2 additional days. And that's all we needed to know, right? How many days will both options cost the same? They didn't want to know how much it's going to cost, they just wanted to know when. So after 3 total days,
Hold on, you're going too fast. This 3 times 3 equals 6.
3 plus 3 does. 3 times 3 is 9. You have a wonderful day. We will see you in our next video. Which
No, no, no.